Novak Djokovic will not be playing in this U.S. Open this year. The tennis star is barred from entering America because he is unvaccinated. For some reason, the CDC believes and the Department of Homeland Security enforces a rule requiring vaccination for non-U.S. citizens entering the country. On point tonight, the laughable double standard this lays bare. Because we prize accuracy here and to be extraordinarily fine in the points that we make. So let's drill down here and be a little more precise. The CDC believes and the Department of Homeland Security enforces a rule requiring vaccination for non-U.S. citizens entering the country illegally. The Biden administration has zero problem with hundreds of thousands of unvaccinated illegal immigrants coming across the border illegally. We report on it every night. Those unvaccinated migrants are then released into the United States. In fact, the administration offers free flights for many of the unvaccinated illegal immigrants to the city of their choice. These aren't videos of the flights, but we have seen them a lot. But if you are an unvaccinated world-class athlete and land at JFK, well, then you are way too much of a risk. Just yesterday, we did a segment about the CDC admitting failure during the pandemic, but refusing to even release the raw data so outside scientists can see what went wrong. Of course, they could start rebuilding trust by changing the absurd rules they and other parts of the government still enforce, all in the name of science. Reasonable people can agree. It is impossible to defend this policy. Maybe that's one of the many reasons Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas kept the media away during his visit to the border today. In fact, you can see there, the Border Patrol did way more to keep the media away from him than they do to keep illegal immigrants out of the United States. It's not the Border Patrol's fault. They're doing what they're ordered to do. To be fair, he's in a tough spot. He leads an organization tasked with denying entry to unvaccinated world-class athletes at airports. And Alejandro Mayorkas also leads an organization tasked with welcoming hundreds of thousands of unvaccinated illegal immigrants at the southern border. That's on point tonight. Jorge Ventura covers the southern border for the Daily Caller, tried to get a question in with the secretary today. Jorge, I'm wondering, what was sort of the point optically of this visit? If he's not going to take questions, we know the Border Patrol has some real issues with him. The rank and file do not like him. Why do this?
You know, Elena, I think just optically, the secretary was looking to avoid any type of media. They actually didn't even announce the visit today. We got this leaked by a source. Media outlets tried to confirm a visit with Mayorkas' office. They did not respond to anyone. And it was just us and a few other outlets that were actually there that got that leaked info. And we tried to ask Mayorkas a question. He would not take one. And especially it's important now, because there's already been 1.8 million arrests at the border. And according to the fiscal year and the numbers, it's looking like it's going to break 2 million. And even, speaking of Border Patrol agents, morale is as low as ever. So we were expecting Mayorkas to at least take a question or two, because the American people are really demanding some answers, especially the citizens of South Texas who continue to see this huge wave of
Your reporting has been great. I'm wondering, though, we saw the video of him shaking hands and the like. And obviously, it's always a big deal when the boss comes to town. But your sources inside Border Patrol, what do they really think of the secretary's visit?
They call it more the dog and pony show. It's just him shaking hands. He actually visited one of the 10 cities, the new one, Leland and Eagle Pass. According to our sources, he only spent 10 minutes actually at the 10 facility and didn't actually even go into the overcrowded parts to speak to the migrants, or at least view how the migrants' conditions were. So according to our sources, it was a very quick visit. He was in Del Rio for about an hour, came down in Eagle Pass, spent about 10 minutes at the processing center. He came down to Shelby Park where we were, and he only spent about 10 minutes there, but didn't take any questions, Leland. It looked like they were optically trying to keep this as quiet as they can. And he was also joined with Chief Border Patrol Raul Ortiz as well.
Huh. Yeah, there's something sort of cognitively that seems to be a big disconnect of making this visit and then trying to keep it quiet, but at the same time still doing it for these agents. As you talk to the Border Patrol, what do they make of these hundreds of thousands continuing to come across? A majority now, 60+%, are released into the United States once they come across illegally, flown to the cities of their choice. Have they continued to talk sort of about this juxtaposition of Customs and Border Protection enforcing the vaccine rules on people coming legally, and yet this COVID threat coming across of those unvaccinated illegally?
Yeah, they feel like it's actually completely unfair. And even last year, Leland, when those 15,000 Haitians crashed the bridge here in Del Rio, when I interviewed those Haitians, when they were released into the public, I said, hey, have you been, tested for COVID-19 or even given a vaccine before being released into the American public? And they would say no. And that's why there's a huge kind of disconnect between the Biden administration and then the Border Patrol. That relationship is very strained right now. But they feel that they're not getting any support from the administration. And when it comes to these vaccine rules, it's a complete hypocrisy is the way that they're looking at it right now.
I want to play for you a soundbite. This is leaked audio from the last time the Secretary visited Border Patrol agents who were not happy with him. Take a listen.
Every time something important comes here, we rush out. We have 50 more buses that come in, and they take as many people out here as they can. You guys keep saying you want to see how it really is down here. Why do we keep sending as many people out of here as we can?
Huh. You have to wonder if there's going to be video or audio like that about this visit. Did you talk to anybody who was there with the Secretary today, or have you heard any sort of follow-on of what he said to folks?
Yeah, according to some of the sources, it was just more him checking in, hearing about the concerns. According to them, he came to this sector particularly because it's now the deadliest sector with the migrants and drownings. But just speaking to Border Patrol, they're brutally been honest with me, and they say they don't expect any change. It's kind of the same thing. Mayorkas comes, he hears the concerns, he sees the numbers, he knows how bad it is. Yet nothing changes on policy. The administration doesn't give him any support. And then Leland, a couple hours actually before Mayorkas even got to Eagle Pass, a group of 300 crossed illegally. We were with them, mostly Cubans and Venezuelans, and it just shows how resources continue to be strained there. The thing that's shocking to local law enforcement, Border Patrol agents, Leland, right now in this sector is, with the amount of drownings that continue to happen, the crossings have not slowed down, and It's been taking a huge toll. The local funeral home has been overrun by migrant bodies.
Wow. Well, it says a lot what people are willing to risk to come to America, and the welcome mat's still rolled out. Or, hey, keep covering this. Let us know what you hear from your sources about the visit today, all right?
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.